From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, we still have had a very windy day across the area today. We're also seeing a little bit of a warm day as well. We're seeing 50s right now, 51 degrees in Lansing and Grand Ledge, 56 degrees in Jackson, 55 degrees down in Hillsdale. We still do have that wind advisory until 10 p.m. for most of the northern part of mid-Michigan. That will probably be expiring over the next couple of hours, but we'll also start to see maybe a bit of some clearing as well. As we head into the next 12 hours, temperatures drop back down into the 40s with some clearing in the forecast for the overnight hours. All the details coming up in just a little bit. 6 News at 5 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 5.
The Catholic Church begins a 9-day mourning period for Pope Francis. It's our top story today at 5. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sherry Jones. The Vatican announced the 88-year-old pontiff died this morning, less than a day after he appeared in St. Peter's Square to give his Easter message. Tina Kraus is here for you with the latest from Rome.
The faithful packed St. Peter's Square Monday evening for the Rosary Prayer for the late Pope Francis. Earlier, church bells rang out, one for each of his 88 years of life, and the Vatican lowered flags to half-staff in his honor.
It's a moment of a bit of sadness and at the same time thankfulness and celebration of life.
Pope Francis's death comes less than a day after he surprised the faithful Easter Sunday, greeting them with a message of peace. Just last month, the Pope was released from the hospital after a 5-week stay for double pneumonia.
I was sort of really shocked because I was here yesterday at Mass and I saw the Pope and he looked just so fragile.
The first Pope born in the Americas, Francis put migrants, the poor, and the marginalized at the center of his 12-year papacy.
That is his greatest legacy. He showed us that, what is not essential when you're Pope is to be on a pedestal. What is essential is to be with the people.
Over the next few days, hundreds of thousands of mourners are expected to descend upon Vatican City to pay their respects as Pope Francis's body lies in state. Pope Francis's funeral has to be held within 6 days of his death, and then 15 to 20 days after his passing, cardinals from around the world will come to the Vatican to begin the process of selecting the next pope. Tina Kraus, CBS News, Rome.
And people around mid-Michigan are remembering the life and legacy of Pope Francis. Our Zach Priest spoke to 2 local priests who share what the Pope meant to them. Zach, what can you tell us?
I spoke to Catholic leaders in Lansing today, and they say Pope Francis leaves a legacy of servitude. He stood out because he cared for the poor.
His legacy will be in mercy, in humility, simplicity, in his outreach to the poor, and his ability to build bridges with other people.
Father Bob Basic learned of Pope Francis's death first thing this morning. He says Pope Francis touched believers and also those not in the church.
And really emphasizing on the dignity of the human person that exists no matter who you are, no matter what you believe. Nothing can take that away.
Father Steve Matson says popes are called to strengthen people's ties to the church, and he says Pope Francis did just that by reaching the people who had fallen through the cracks.
One of the striking things about Pope Francis is he really saw himself and called us to be a minister to the peripheries. He had that heart for those in Argentina and calls for us to be ministers of mercy wherever we might go, especially to the peripheries.
Father Matson says Pope Francis showed the love of Christ to everyone, especially marginalized groups.
I think he spoke in ways that could be heard by groups that were disenfranchised. And that's a great gift to them and a reminder to the church that the Lord invites all to come to him.
Those I spoke to today say the tradition of the Pope, say that Pope Francis left a loving tradition. They spoke of him lovingly remembering his selflessness and his heart for the poor. We have more on Pope Francis's life and legacy coming up on 6 News at 6.
Thank you so much, Zach. Governor Gretchen Whitmer issued a statement on the death of Pope Francis, saying in part, quote, Pope Francis was an inspiration to countless Michiganders and people around the world. He fought against poverty and called for action on climate change, economic injustice, and peace. As we celebrate his life and mourn his death, let us live by the values he believed in: love, mercy, and compassion for all. And be sure to stay with 6 News on air, online, and through our 6 News app as we continue to coverage the death of Pope Francis. Also today, families are concerned that their loved ones may be deported after the Trump administration threw out protections for Haitians who came to the United States to escape violence. That decision is part of an effort to carry out mass deportations. Taryn Simmons spoke to a woman, and she's here for you now with more on that.
Sherry, although the woman wants to remain anonymous, she says her daughter-in-law's sisters are under temporary protected status and currently reside in California. TPS allows people to work within the U.S. and protects them from deportation back to their home country if it's unsafe to return. She says it took her and her family 10 years to try to get her daughter-in-laws approved for a permanent residency in Canada and work towards getting their citizenship. But they were denied. Then the U.S. granted temporary protected status, or TPS, to Haitian migrants because of the violence in their country. And her family members were approved and came to the States in 2023. But after taking office, President Trump promised to deport many non-U.S. citizens and reverse the Biden-era expansion of TPS. A U.S. judge recently ruled against the Trump changes, blocking them from now. But many Haitians are worried they may be forced to go back to the war-torn country.
Where are they going to go? Where are they going to live? Where are they going to work? There's no jobs. The entire country, especially Port-au-Prince, where they worked, is overrun by street gangs. My one daughter-in-law, she worked at the university, and one day they were getting ready to go home, and her boss offered to give her a ride home, and she said, sure. So they were going to get in the car when a street gang came up, and one of the men held a gun to her head and told her boss, you're coming with us, and she's coming with us, and I'm taking the car.
TPS gives people legal authority to live in the States, but it doesn't grant them citizenship. People under TPS are reliant on the government to renew their status once it expires. Sherry, back to you.
Thank you, Taryn. Well, today marks the start of National Infant Immunization Week, and the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services is encouraging parents across the state to ensure their children receive their vaccinations on time. And they're up to date on all recommended immunizations for the best protection against serious illness. So with ongoing measles outbreaks nationwide and cases rising here in Michigan, it's crucial now more than ever to ensure that Michigan residents, particularly children, are up to date on all their recommended immunizations. And a confirmed measles case in Ingham County has led health officials to schedule a vaccination clinic. It is tomorrow, April 22nd, from 3 until 7. The clinic is in Conference Room A on the 2nd floor of the Ingham County Health Department building, which is located on Cedar Street in Lansing. Walk-ins are welcome, but you want to bring a photo ID and your insurance card if you have one.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, we are seeing those clouds still in the forecast, and those will eventually start to diminish as the night progresses. But take a look at how green we're seeing those grasses outside our McLaren Cam. It kind of looks like we're almost in Ireland with the green grass and our windy conditions as well. We're seeing some windy conditions right now in the capital, feeling like we're into some of the 50s, 51 degrees right now after a high of 65 and a low of 47, a max wind of about 43 miles per hour. Still seeing that camera shake just a little bit into our Grand Ledge Cam, and we're still seeing our temperatures into the 50s, 51 degrees, max wind of about 39 miles per hour. Jackson, temperatures into the 50s still, but our winds are still into the 40s, so we're going to continue to see a little bit of some chilly conditions with those winds. Down into Hillsdale, 55 degrees after a high of about 47 degrees and a max wind of about 36 miles per hour. Our peak winds today were right around 20 26 to 30 miles per hour across the area, and we're going to still see this wind advisory in place from Lansing points north, and that's until at least 10 p.m. tonight, although it will probably expire as our winds start to calm down. Satellite radar showing most of those cloudy skies slowly pushing to the east, and that's out as our low pressure system that provided those rain showers earlier pulls to the east as well. But take a look to our west. We're seeing some quiet weather before maybe a little bit more showers move into the forecast for the next couple of days. Tonight, temperatures are going to remain into the 30s, around 37 degrees with those decreasing clouds. Then as we head into the day tomorrow, we'll see a period of some sunshine before clouds move in and maybe an isolated rain shower for tomorrow. But I think most of us will stay dry for the day, just a hit or miss shower as we head into the afternoon and evening. Then as we head into the day as well, tomorrow our wind gusts will slowly calm down back into the 15 to 25 mile per hour and eventually 5 to 10 mile per hour as we head into the evening for Tuesday. For Tuesday, beautiful start to the day with plenty of sunshine, temperatures into the 40s and 50s, getting into the 60s by the afternoon with mostly cloudy skies. So we're a little bit above average for the day tomorrow, but as we head into the next couple of days, we'll continue to see above average temperatures almost into the 70s, getting into the upper 70s for Thursday. And we continue to see above average temperatures as we head into the upcoming weekend, and maybe a little bit cooler. But then as we head into the next week after that, we'll continue to see warm temperatures in the forecast. So we do have a little bit of the chance for some showers here or there, mainly for Friday. But then as we head into the rest of the weekend, we'll see decreasing clouds, temperatures into the 60s. And for the week after next, temperatures remain into the 70s.
Wow, Thursday looks picture perfect.
Honestly.
77?
Yeah.
Wow.
Honestly, I mean, tomorrow isn't too bad either. I'll take 60s and 70s over the kind of cloudy and gray day we had today.
I agree. Thanks, Kels.